I'm just going to pass over to Lou. I'll just give you a little spiel about us as an organisation. We're all members tonight. There's no non-members on, so you all know about the Scottish Women's Institutes and what we do. Basically, these online events are committed to lifelong learning and sharing skills. So Lou is a Coldstream member, and she's joining us tonight as part of our Skillshare sessions to chat to us about her fabulous needle felting creations that won numerous prizes at both this year's and last year's RHS Handcraft competitions, including Best in Show 2 years in a row. Little Lou. So Lou is here to talk us through her journey and also give some tips and tricks for anyone who's wanting to enter the RHS Handcraft competition in 2024. So I'll hand over to Lou for now.
Thank you, Charlotte.
No problem.
Hello. So I've been sort of crafting all my life, really. I've always enjoyed craft, but hadn't really ever entered any competitions. And a couple of years ago, we'd had our Fed show down here, and I just decided I might enter something. And I just did one tiny little badger and entered it, and I got Best in Show, and it kind of sort of started the bug, really. And so I decided, just as a joke, really, to enter the Highland show. And to my utter astonishment, got Best in Show last year. And then it was the challenge to, do I do it again? And if I do, if I don't win, can I cope with that? If I do win again, how weird would that be? But I decided to, have a look at the schedule and take it from there, and entered again. And I entered quite a few this year and got a big handful of prizes, and got Best in Show again. And it's sort of, you sit back and think, how am I doing this? I know that I'm good at crafts, I'm aware of that, but having been to the Highland show every year, I've never thought I was that good at crafts. And so it's sort of a journey that I've been on, trying to believe in myself, but also then inspiring other people. We've just had our Federation show down here, and hardly anyone ever enters, and Coldstream never wins anything. And I think we came away with 9 cups, and not just me. We won as a group in about 4 of the classes, and 2 other girls within it won their sections as well. So it's the sort of the journey's developing, the fact that other people, I'm trying to get other people to believe in themselves and into things as well. So hopefully I'll get a few of them to enter the Highland show this year, and Coldstream will get a few more prizes. So you can see behind me here, this is the piece that won this year. And it was supposed to be a needle felted, a flat or 2D needle felted picture. And the theme obviously this year was rainbows. And I'm very fortunate. I've got a very supported partner, and he sort of, we sat thrashing out what we could do, because you could obviously do any picture with a rainbow in it, but we decided to think outside the box, which is where I normally go wrong. I normally sort of go a bit left field, but we'd been in Edinburgh the week before and seen the poster for the Highland show. So what better thing to do than actually to do the poster itself and incorporate a rainbow in it, and really hammer home the theme. And it won, which I still can't believe. Yeah. So there's a few of the other things behind me here that won. That's one of my pottery. That's a pottery sheep with a jumper on. He won. And various other bits and pieces that I won with as well. And I think it's just not necessarily worrying whether you're going to win or not, but just enjoy the process. A few of the girls that were doing the Federation show were getting a bit stressed out about it, and I was like, it's not worth getting yourself stressed out about it. It's supposed to be fun, and it's supposed to be enjoyable. And when we sort of thought back about it, it's trying to take the pressure off people, and if you want to enter, go ahead, and if you don't. But I've met so many people through it, especially the girls at the WI, Pauline, yourself, and people like that. And it's just been, I love going up every year, whether I've won or not. I will still go every year, and I will still love seeing all the work that other people do, because it inspires me to do other stuff.
Amazing.
Thank you.
I was gonna ask, do you like draw out your images first before you start needle felting them? Like, do you write them, paint them, or draw them out on paper first?
Yeah, I did, because it's a flat piece of needle felting. Obviously, other stuff that I do is, and most of the stuff I do is 3D, so you can't draw that out. I'd have an idea of what I wanted to do, but the one that I entered last year, the theme was a woodland, so I just started building a woodland, and it evolved as it went along. So yeah, no, I'm not. I don't do patterns and things like that. I don't like. I think that's why I don't knit and things. I'm not there for sitting reading patterns. I just like creating and building things. I go and seeing what happens. But with this one, because of the way you have to do it, I did draw it onto the fabric that I was using as the backing, and then felted it that way, so that it just gives you a bit of a guide. But to be honest, once you started felting, you can't see the drawing anyhow, so it's a bit pointless. But it's helped me sort of block it out, because you sort of the bits at the top here where it's big lumps of blue and everything, that sort of just takes a long time.
You can see all the shading under the sheep, and it's just really intricate. It's really beautifully done.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't take too long. It's probably a couple of weeks work, and the backgrounds just take ages, and then you're getting into all the intricate bits, and that's the fun bits that I enjoy. And everybody likes the tractor on it. You can't really see the tractor that well there, but it's
with the Scotland flag.
Yeah, actually, I think that's the building behind, but yeah, it's got a Scotland flag.
Right. It kind of looks like it's coming out of the tractor.
Yeah. It could be, I suppose.
It's really amazing.
Yeah, no. So yeah, it's still I still can't decide what to do with it. I was going to give it to the RHS to see if it's maybe, or I don't know. I mean, that is another problem with when you're doing the shows, is what are you going to do with all the stuff that you've made? Because this is my new craft shed that I'm sitting in now. Unfortunately, my mum passed away a couple of years ago and left me some money, and it was like, what am I going to do? And it's like, well, the craft thing's become a real thing with me now, and so this is Craft Central, and I've got it's not as big as it should have been. I should have made it about 10 times bigger. But it means that I don't have stuff lying all over the house. I think that's a thing that crafters often have, is that it takes over the house and it's a bit of a nightmare. So now everything I do
is into one area.
Yeah, I've got my pottery wheel in here and all sorts of other bits. And so yeah, this is when I'm not working, this is my home.
So have you always been crafty, or is it just in recent years, or is it something that you've just always been creative?
My nan was always really crafty, and when I used to go and stay with her, she would always do things. She built my doll's house, for instance. She took herself off to evening classes and learnt woodwork, and so I would always do bits. Mum was reasonably crafty, and she always made Christmas crackers and things, and I've just always enjoyed making things, but hadn't done it for years and years and years, and work takes over, life takes over, and it wasn't until I moved here and got my job here, where I'm a housekeeper at a fishing lodge. And so it's quite seasonal work. So I have periods of time where I work 16-hour days and I don't go out and I don't see people. But then for maybe 7 or 8 months of the year, I'm just looking after the house and making sure it's okay. So I've got time. And my boss said to me when he employed me, he said, "What are you going to do with your time? I don't want you to be bored." So I was like, well, perhaps I'll take up crafting again. And I have, and I've probably taken it a bit far. But the things where I've won the Highland show twice now, and the prize that you get is £500 towards a craft course or equipment for crafting and things like that. So the first year I did a blacksmithing course, I just thought it was something different to do. And then with this year's, I've been on a course to learn to do stained glass. And the course was only, I think it was about £80. So the rest of the money, they've allowed me to actually go and buy the kit, so that not only have I done the course, I can now learn more myself at home. And then maybe later on pass that on to other people. I'm really passionate about sharing skills and making sure that these skills are kept alive and that other people can do them, and that they're accessible to everybody. A lot of people can't afford to go off and do expensive courses and things like that, and it's great to share it.
Oh, you're on mute, Charlotte.
Sorry. I muted myself because the dog was barking. I was just going to say that it was actually a suggestion from one of our members on the survey that goes out from a previous event, was that they would love to see something on stained glass. So I might be hitting you up sometime.
Give me 2 more months. I've made about 2 pieces, but it's the trouble with a lot of crafts is, in order to start doing them at home and things like that, you actually are going to have quite a huge outlay. And I think that's why I like needle felting, because literally you need a needle and that's it. Mm-hmm. Whereas with stained glass, you're probably looking at about a £400 or £500 investment to actually have a go at it. But there's courses out there and you can try them in, and then if you like it, it's something that you can look into. Mm-hmm. My latest thing that I'm really enjoying, which has sort of become a bit of a major thing now, is willow weaving. I'm very much into willow. And
oh, nice. Oh, wow.
Oh, lovely.
So yes, I did enter the one in the Highland show this year, but it wasn't very good. But I'm a few months down the line and it's getting
better.
Great.
Pauline, you're here. Hi, Pauline.
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, I'm late, everybody. Terrible traffic on the M8. The thing that I would like to do, Blue, is show some of the pictures of your overall wins, so that people can see them up close. Because if people haven't been to the show themselves and the handcrafts competition, the tent that we run, you might not realise the detail in the work. So if you don't mind, I might just go through that for a second. Yeah. So this is last year's winner, which you can see is the woodland theme, and really lovely detail. So how many different
woodland theme? It was a rainbow theme.
No, this is last year's, the year before. So
it's this year's that you're showing though.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Hang on. Why am I doing that? Hang on. That's not what it looks like on my screen. Sorry. Your screen. Right, we'll show the woodland one first, yeah? You see the woodland one?
Yeah.
So overall, it was a very large exhibit, and it had how many different animals on it?
The pine marten, the badger, the squirrel, red squirrel, crested tit. There's a mouse in there somewhere, and a moth. and a stoat. It's a pine marten, but yes.
Sorry.
I went with Scottish animals.
But really, really beautiful detail and everything, and it really just wowed the judges. I mean, look at the claws on the badger. Really great.
Did you wire those animals?
Did you what?
Did you wire some of those animals?
No, those ones aren't, but some I do other animals, and yes, I would make a skeleton out of this.
Yeah. And how long would it take you to make the pine marten, for instance?
I can do stuff like that in a day.
Yeah.
If I'm doing it all day, if not a couple of days.
Yeah. And was this your first big win at the Royal Highland Show?
First entry I'd ever put in it.
First entry. Brilliant.
I always say I entered 2 things that year. One got disqualified and this one won the whole.
And the one that got disqualified looked amazing. It was tell everyone why I got disqualified, because that's a good, it's a bad luck story for you, but it's a good story for everyone else to hear.
It was supposed to be on a 30-centimeter board, and I can't remember which was right. I think it's square, but I put it on a round one.
Yes. Yeah, you had the wrong shape board. It was absolutely, it was 3 owls, wasn't it?
Yeah, so a needle felted owl, a clock that's actually behind me, and a pottery owl as well. And yeah, it's one of the best things I've ever made.
But it was on the wrong board. So got disqualified. So what a shame.
I'd like to say I entered our federation show this year, because as it hadn't won, I was allowed to, and it had been in the last 18 months, and it got first place in its section. So I was, it's finally been
vindicated. Yeah. So I'm going to show this year's entry now then.
Okay.
Because obviously we can see it behind you, but can you see it there? See that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see the. All right. Okay. Yeah. So I'll just close in and some of the detail, because the detail is really great. So it's just it's as you would put it, just a copy of the poster. Yeah, Lou?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, just a copy of the poster. That's all I did. Yeah. So so this is Anne Kerr here tonight? Because Anne Kerr and I went on a wee trip down on the back of a quad bike through the Royal Highland show. Anne Kerr gripping onto this for dear life, taking it down to the Royal Highland show TV studio, where Dougie Vipond was waxing lyrical about all different things in the handcrafts and foods and drink areas, and everybody was delighted to see it down there, and it made great telly. So it's really such a lovely detail, lovely people. Yeah. So
yeah, the bit everybody likes is the tractor and the people.
Yeah. And how long did that take you to do, Liz?
I don't know exactly. I mean, I did it probably over 3 weeks, but that's not full time.
Yeah.
A couple of days for this. I've said to you before, all the big blocks of colour are the bit that take time, and they're quite tedious. Yeah. And then you start getting into the middle bit, which is really good fun. So I sort of broke it down, and it was like the horse I did one day, the guy with the sheep I did another day, the people and the tractor another day. So I think it was over about 3 weeks, but probably if I'd have sat and done it 24/7, I could have done it in a week. But
yeah,
your hand gets sore after a while.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
And what size needle? This is me showing my ignorance. Are needle felting needles all the same size?
They're all the same size. They're probably about 4 inches long.
Yeah.
They do different things, and you've got some that do reverse felting, so they'll pull hair out rather than pushing it in, and all sorts of things. So it depends what you're doing, but I tend to use the same all the time.
Yeah.
That are just multi-purpose.
Yeah, great. And what about are they, because have they got handles on them? Are they comfortable to use?
Yes and no. A single one is quite annoying because it's just a needle. I can't.
Yeah. That's the only time I've ever touched one. It just seemed like it would be quite painful after a wee while, because it doesn't have.
I tend to put 2 together,
right,
and use them like that. I find that really works, especially when you're doing larger pieces. You can get holders that will hold anything up to 4, 5, 6 needles at a time. I don't tend to like those very much. You can actually buy felting machines, but I've never gone down that route yet. Right. So no, the 2 together, that seems to work well enough for me. If you start using too many, it's fine for the big areas, but when you're doing the individual areas, you have to use single needles.
Yeah. Okay, and then I just wanted to show this last picture because it's a lovely picture of you with your trophy. You get this lovely trophy, didn't you?
Yeah.
Where does that trophy live?
It lives at the Royal Highland show because
does it? Is it made of silver? Is it solid silver?
It's solid silver and worth quite a lot of money, and I was not comfortable with it in my house last year because it's worth so much, and it tarnishes very easily. So this year I have left it with the Highland show because I thought that was the safest place for it to be.
Yeah. And I'd like to point out that everyone there is part of the SWI in some way, which is lovely. We've got Mary, the national president, at the front there, and we've got lots of different stewards and board members, and Anne Kerr, who's an immediate past president, Diane Cooper, Ashmita, our membership officer. That's me in the pink dress. So we're all delighted to help out, and each year the SWI run the Scottish Handcraft Championships, and I don't know if everybody knows, but it's all done voluntarily, and so there's a team of stewards. Last year it was run by the head steward was Elizabeth Wallace. And the ladies go and they set everything up. They host it. They take everything down. It's a big production, and that's all done on behalf for the Royal Highland Show organisers. Now it's not just for Scottish Women's Institute's members to enter, though. It's a global competition. I don't know if everybody knows that, but it's a global competition that it invites people from all over the world to do it. So are there any other competitions like globally like that anybody knows of that we can muscle in on and you know get prizes at? Because you do so well, Lou. It's like you're a Scottish. You just so happen to be a Scottish Women's Institute's member, but you know you can
look into it. Well, I was just telling Charlotte it was our federation show this week, and I've been really trying to get some of the other girls who don't believe in themselves to say you could do this, you could, and they're like, no, you're really good. And I'm like, no, I'm not that good. I enter.
Yeah.
And see what happens.
Yeah. I mean, you're very talented, you know, that's not blowing smoke, but you're very, very talented.
People out there that don't enter these competitions, and I've learned so much from it, and I've met so many fabulous people, and to be like you've just said with the girls in the marquee and everything, the work they do, and I've decided I'm going to enter this year, but after that I'm not going to enter because I'm going to volunteer.
All right.
Because I'd like to be that part of it, because I think you must have such an amazing week, and it must be such hard work, but you all seem to have such a laugh. You've always made me feel so welcome. You've always shown how proud you are of me, and that just really touches me, that, you know, people that didn't know me, but because I'm part of the big family of the WI, that I think you'd have welcomed me in whether I was or not, but it just feels like a big family, and I love it.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. I'd like to ask everybody here who has entered the Royal Highland Show before. Is Christine, and Christine and Heather, and I'm not sure that we had a wee hand in iPhone LLWW. I don't know who you are, darling, so I'm just going to call you that. So how many other people would be tempted to enter? Do you know anything about it for this year? Do you know what the theme is? Yeah. Have you looked at the classes and thought, I could do something for that class? Or and how far out, Lou, do you need to go? Do you sort of start thinking, right, this is what to do?
Strange. I started thinking about it when I saw the thing up on the wall at the Highland Show this year. So I've already looked into a few things. It's like I can't do that, but that's going to make me learn how to do that. And then the things that I know I can do, they're already in my head. I haven't started making anything yet, but probably because I made it all in about 2 months last year, and it was a bit crazy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna space it out and get some time management skills going this year, and I'll probably start after Christmas and maybe just do one a month and just enjoy making it a lot more rather than put the pressure. But I've always been like that. I like pressure a bit, and
yeah.
is
Yeah.
a bit crazy.
Yes, I know. And I know that I can see that we've got some of our stewards and some of our key people that past and present key people who help run the competition. So we've got Christine Cowell. You're one of the judges, aren't you? Can I introduce you, Chris? You're on mute. Sorry, darling.
Hello, Lou. It was myself that judged your items, and I thought it was
Really?
terrific.
I've forgotten that, Christine. I didn't mean to put you on the spot. I'd
All
forgotten
right,
that.
all
Yeah,
right.
that's great.
Yes, I love the back too. It was beautifully. The shadow work of the back was such a nice picture as well.
Yeah,
And
no,
just to-
I think I prefer the back some ways to the
Yes,
front. Yeah.
yes, and the edging of the ribbon with being rainbow colours too just drew it all together. But
Well, again,
it was the essence of the entry was a picture incorporating a rainbow, and that's exactly what it did.
yeah, thank you.
Mhm. And what do you how do you become a judge at the Royal Highland Show, Christine?
We're just classified.
A letter coming through your door.
Oh, really? Yeah,
Your
yeah.
letterbox, yes, and asking you to be if you're free and available, and
Mhm.
just by luck I was.
Yes, but you're a you have do you have judges bars, and do you
No,
no, you're
no.
not an SWI judge. Okay. I thought you would have.
But I have the skills of that craft.
Yes. Yeah, great. Well done. You chose a good one.
Yeah.
Christine. You chose a
Certainly
good-
did.
Yeah.
I liked her wreath as well. Her wreath was lovely.
Yes, yeah. No, lots of your things are lovely.
Yes.
Right, it's over there somewhere.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, it's great.
it
It's
is.
great. Yeah,
Curious as how you got the wire and the swallow's tails.
Yeah.
yeah, no, it's lovely. Thanks, Christine. That's great. Are you coming again this year?
I don't know.
Oh, well.
You're
we
welcome back.
need to make sure you come, yeah? Thank you. Hang on. Unpin you. Hang on. There we go.
Done it.
Thanks, Sharon.
No, it's
And then we've got can I talk to Mary for a minute? Mary, you able to talk? So Mary is sorry, I just asked you and you just done it. Mary's our current president and national president, and Mary, you have been on the team, set up team for a few years now, haven't you? How many years?
Not a lot, just 3.
Oh, just 3,
Yeah.
but that's
No, I'm still learning.
yes, yeah.
I'm a good gopher.
And what do you think is important about the fact that SWI run this Scottish Handcrafts competition on behalf of the RHS?
It just think it gives us a higher profile.
Yeah.
It shows the skills that we're trying to maintain within our membership, and showing some of the skills that people can do, but in a much more modern way as well. We are into heritage, but we don't live, with all the sort of older crafts. We try to encourage people, to update them and show us what can be done with them. There are a lot of SWI members who enter, but as you say, you don't have to be a member. But I think there's a lot more SWI members who could enter. Definitely. People, I think, are slightly scared of entering because they think the Highland Show, is very prestigious, which it is. But we've got members who are perfectly capable of entering and doing really well. So the schedule for 2024 is out and confirmed. So get started now.
Yeah, I've got that to hand. I can share that just to sort of give people an idea of what Lou's thinking of entering, so you can avoid that class.
Well, the theme is seasons, so there's plenty of opportunity to interpret that within the classes that are on offer.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Hang on. Sorry, I'm not doing very well with my computer this evening. It's not behaving very well. Okay, so here, let me share the list. Can you see that?
Yep.
Yeah, so this is on the RHS website. So you can I'll put the link in the chat for you. But 4 seasons, and there's medley of craft, so lots of different items that you can make all the way through there.
We're also trying to encourage gentlemen to enter, so there's the wooden bowl, various things that you know, gentlemen can enter.
Yes. So so for instance, right, we're on needle felts now. So needle felted sheep, does that need to be just a straightforward sheep, or can you go bananas with that?
You can interpret that in any way you like.
Yeah.
I would imagine most people would want to do it standing up or whatever, but you might have some quirky thoughts about a needle felted sheep.
See, I read that as plural.
Oh,
well, we were asked about that and we just left it to.
It doesn't say a needle felted sheep, it says needle felted sheep.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah, it could be either.
Yeah.
I
don't think we would disqualify you if you made one. I mean, it's because sheep is both plural and singular.
I interpreted that like you say, it could be either. So
yeah. And if I see drunk needle felted sheep, I'll know they're yours, Lou. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, I was talking to Susie Finlayson about it, and we're going to do a joint workshop in the new year down here.
Great.
Felting sheep with anyone that wants to come along. So at least.
Isn't that great? Yeah.
That's lovely.
Or you could do the loneliest one that's just been rescued. And
in
his cave.
I just think it's nice to try and give, if anybody comes up with something at that particular workshop, why not just enter it? You just never know.
No.
Yeah. So the trios is an interesting one. So trios are 3 different items on a square board.
Square.
Square board.
Square.
It seems petty, but you have to read the schedule.
Yeah, very important to read the schedule. So those are usually they take pride of place, don't they? Apart from obviously the winner, the overall winner, and things like that. The trios are really kind of high profile in the tent itself, the marquee itself. And there's always lovely things in there. Now crochet, I'm going to skip through novices. Novices is just people who haven't entered the championships previously. And actually, if you haven't entered already, that's a really good place to start, because you can do whatever you want, really. Well, in the Christmas themed toy, but you could really do well in that category, because it's usually a lower entry into that category, isn't there, Mary?
Yes, definitely. We could encourage lots more people to do that. People think of novice as being young, but that's not the case. No. It's people who haven't entered.
Yeah. And then there's the junior one for that too. So crochet was quite an interesting one, because there was one crochet, a lot from one crochet class or a crochet.
Yes.
Which was brilliant, because they'd done exactly what you're talking about there, Luz, and got together and said, we'd all like to make something. What can we make? And they all made, and the theme was last year was rainbow, but they all made blue items, didn't they?
Well, that was the colour for that.
The colour there? Yeah,
it was shades of blue.
Shades of blue, yeah. So they all made a different thing, and then they all entered, and it's nice collaborative. Although they didn't collaborate on the pieces, it's a nice collaborative work that you do and you encourage each other, and
you share the whole experience together, and I think that's great.
Yeah. Knitting's always hotly contested, isn't it? And I think we'll have a lot of we've got a shawl and fine lace knitting, and we do have next year's No, it's after this. The next year's
Yeah.
a summer school.
Oh yeah,
We're going to be doing shape and lace knitting and willow basketry as well. But you'll be too good for that class by the time you get.
I mean, it always pleases my lot at RWI is that I can't knit. And Georgina always says to me, "You're not allowed to. You've got to leave something for us." So I'm not. I learned to crochet finally, but no, I'm not going to do knitting.
No, great. That's something that everybody else can enter. Hey, quick, mark them off. What the ones you can enter. And then so we've got all sorts of different things, and so I would encourage everybody really to get involved. And there's some for kids, and those are kids that might be your grandkids. That might be, you just want to get if you work in a school or whatever, just get people to enter, because the more we have, the more excitement in the tent we can have, and the more it'll be, we'll get press coverage, etc., etc. So that's all great. So I'll stop sharing. I'll put that in the link for that in the chat, and encourage you to share it with other people and in your institutes and federations as well. Yeah,
Definitely.
So anyone inspired by that? Anyone inspired by? Well, you can't not be inspired by those things. So are you inspired to think, well, let's give it a go, get a rosette, get a winner's card? Who's entering this year?
Hey,
Liz entering. Nobody else? Nobody else thinking of entering?
I might enter.
Oh, Charlotte, yeah, great. Good.
There's a couple of nice photography ones, so I might enter.
Yeah, you're a good photographer. Yeah, that'd be good. And there's fine art, and there's all sorts of needlework. Yeah, so all sorts of things.
the art sections last year, and I don't class myself as an artist.
No.
And it's just, I mean, that's what I won last year, but I'm just as happy with the 6th as I am with the 1st.
Yes. Yeah. Great. And what are there any courses that you would like to do in the run up to the next Highland show?
Well, I was just telling Charlotte, with my winnings this year, I've been on a course doing stained glass windows.
Yeah, brilliant.
I'm just dabbling in that, and probably not for the show, but I'm quite into making silver jewelry as well at the moment. I've made quite a bit of that with a local maker, and she's doing some silver clay, which is you make it out of clay, and you heat it to a high heat, and the clay's got a lot of silver in it, and it turns into silver afterwards. So I'm probably going to do that in the new year. So I just like learning new skills, and I think even if you don't then take it up as a hobby, it's just nice to go and learn something. And as I say to most people, everybody can do something. You just got to try it. Yeah.
And who would be interested as well in coming to the Highland show and helping out? And because you don't have to put your hand up now, but it'd be really nice to have more of you helping and more of you kind of coming along and sitting and seeing what happens there, because it's a really exciting event for SWI, and next year we're hoping it'll be even more exciting. So watch this space for different things.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to get involved, please feel that you can ask us to get to, say, I'd like to be involved. How can I be involved? Yeah, Mary, we're always looking for victims, volunteers.
Yes, definitely, because it is a huge amount of work for the small committee that we've got. And although somebody has to organise it, it's quite nice to have extra people, especially during the run. And it gives us, the committee are there for 12 days in all. Mm-hmm. So, because all the championships, apart from the livestock, are judged the week before the show. Yeah. So that's why we are there You know, the handcrafts, the honey, the butter, all these things are judged the week before the show. It's only the livestock that are judged live during the run. So it's a long haul for the committee.
But
So
again,
yes, it would be lovely to have some extras during the run up, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also the stewarding can be done on a day basis, you know, so if you can't commit to a longer time, then the stewarding can be, you can come for a day and you work for the morning and you have the afternoon off, is that right? Or a couple of hours here and a couple of hours there.
Yes, if you do two-hour stints, I think you get a ticket to come in for the day. But they would then let us have a look as well, because we set it all up.
Yeah.
And quite often the committee never see what there is to see during the run because we're busy. So if we have enough stewards, then the committee can take turns at actually going out to see what's on offer.
Yes, yeah. And there's a lot on offer.
There is, but sometimes we're in a little bubble called a marquee and we never see anything else.
Yeah. I had a great, that's when I went with Anne to the Royal Highland Show TV studio. It was great because the whole of the backdrop of the show was the main show ring, and it was they were parading all the cattle and all the horses, and it was just like, wow, this is amazing. It's because all the, you know, you're in a room, but there's like massive beasts outside just walking up and down, nice and calmly being led up and down. So it was really great. It was great.
Yeah, there's lots of aspects of it that people never think of, because the safety used to be done daily, ticking a manual, and this year they piloted it using technology. So Anne and I did the training for that and had to walk about, you know, for 4 days with earpieces in and radio mics, and it was really entertaining hearing
Listening.
some days urinating behind, you know, the shed. Can somebody go on?
and then you had the stop oil protests at the
Yes, we heard all of that going on as well. So yes, so there's things that, you know, people would never even dream of, but that have to be done.
So all very interesting. But the highlight obviously was Lou's work, and Lou being there for you know, coming along, and I knew you'd won it, Lou, and then to see you, I mean, I'm sure everybody who was there as well, to see you kind of come in and one of us. It was just brilliant. It was brilliant, and we did a wee interview which did really well on Facebook, which was lovely, and on the day. And then you know, through the Facebook things that we do, we show all of the items in each of the classes and detail who's contributed them and who's entered them, and that this year we reached I think we went up 1,000% on the year before, and we reached about 240,000 people with those posts. So it really does help spread the word of SWI and spread who we are and what we do. And so I'm very grateful to you, Lou, for spearheading.
No, I love doing it. And it's, as I say, it's always like a big family in that tent.
Yeah.
Even if I'm not entering, I will be there because
brilliant.
I love it.
Yeah. Does anyone have any questions for Lou? Yes, Christine?
Unmute again. No,
Oh, yeah,
no.
you're fine.
Lou, what is the brown beastie that is behind your championship card? I'm trying to work out whether it's a monkey or a orangutan, or it is a orangutan.
Golden line tamarind, isn't it?
Oh wow!
And he was in the show this year, but he didn't win anything.
He didn't win. I can't believe that.
Fabulous.
No.
And how did you make his face, Lou?
It's made out of Fimo.
Yeah.
No, I don't know if you can see him there.
Yeah.
And he's got glass eyes. So I molded I sculpted the face, then baked it, and then managed to insert the eyes there. So yeah,
Very nice.
Yeah.
Well done. Well done.
Yes.
I've got a question into the chat.
Oh yeah, Charlotte.
Sheila said, can you ask Lou What is the difference between 2D needle felting and 3D, and is the work very, very different?
It's kind of as it says. So 3D is like my little tamarind that I showed you. So he's the whole way around. So he's 3D. And then when you're doing the 2D, it's a flat felting. So in some ways, it's possibly easier doing the flat felting. So it's probably a good way to start out. And you're basically using a backing fabric or felt to start with, that you can either make, or you can use most fabrics. And then you're actually needle felting into it. The process itself is pretty much the same. It's just one's flat and one's round.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
If that makes sense.
Because with the 2D, it's much tighter, isn't it? Like it seems
No,
to be.
it's probably the same. It's just that particular monkey is fluffy, whereas
the badger was tight. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
This is a witch's hat the other day, and
it's rustled up. Yeah, you just rustled up.
and that's wet felted, so that's a completely different thing altogether. But the little toadstools they're similar to the ones on my other thing. They're 3D needle felted. So again, you can wet felt flat as well. But yeah, that's my.
So is that whole thing wet felted, or is it just the hat that's wet felted?
Everything from the mushrooms. So there's flat sort of leaves and everything. These are all wet felted, and then the detail is actually stitched on a machine. But yeah, other than the toadstools, everything's.
I think it's the orangutan that's baffling me. I'm like struggling to understand how you did it. It's so amazing. Like, to keep it fluffy. How did you do that?
The trouble is, wool itself always wants to knit together. So if you handle him too much, he does start to felt together. But there's another method I've learned. This is a great one. We'll have to do this as a workshop at some point. This is wet felted, but using a bouncy ball.
Oh, right.
And actually mould it over a ball, as you can see, and then bounce the ball up and down.
That would be fun.
For about an hour, and you get a bag. It's great.
Wow.
Somehow I don't think it's that easy.
Yeah.
I had my 2 friends around to see if it would work, and they did it, and their bags were nicer than mine. So it's yeah. So there's all sorts of different ways, but it's a good way of doing it because it's fun.
Yeah. Nice. And I suppose it's quite stress relieving as well, stabbing something many times. Yeah.
But I mean, they always say you're not a true needle felt until you've stabbed yourself a couple of times. And I've had injuries. You get a bit carried away, and it hurts. But
I like the sound of it, the crunchy sound of it.
Sounds good.
I was talking to somebody today in our local cafe, and her friend was there, and the minute I started talking about it, she had to put her fingers in her ears because she can't even bear hearing talking about the noise.
Oh, really?
She just couldn't bear it at all.
It's one thing I like.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna go around everybody and see what craft you all like, and what craft you maybe think that if you were ever to enter into the show. I'm just interested to see who's. Are we all needle felters? Put your hand up if you're a needle felter already. 1, 2, 3, 4. Only 4. Okay. What about so? Okay, Christine, I know you do a lot of different crafts, don't you?
I try. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I like trying everything. Having a go at something.
Yeah. Is there anything that you would want to do for what would you think? Well, I could probably put something in like this. I could probably do that.
It's timing of the year. It's the difficulty.
Yeah.
Bee lambing and everything else with farm work. You're and different hats on. It's sometimes, yes, you'd love to do these things, but just can't be done at times because I'm also involved with another agricultural show and organising and helping it. So it's just, I don't mind helping at it. I've helped at it quite once or twice.
Yes, good.
The federation shows and whatever. Yes.
Yeah. You do enter federation shows sometimes, don't you? And things.
Oh yes.
Yeah. And can you enter there's something if you put it into a federation show? Can you then enter it into the Royal Highland show?
Yeah, no reason why
nothing
I can't.
to
If
stop
as
you
long
doing
as it hasn't been entered into the same show twice or whatever.
Yeah.
Once it's seen, that's it.
Yeah. So basically, we can say to members, if you've made something already that you think, oh, actually, this suits the theme, and it's something I really like, and I hope it does well, you can put it into the Royal Highland. Yeah. Yeah. Good. That's another way to do it.
Remember that the Highland Show is not an SWI event, so it's completely separate from entering anything in the SWI shows.
Yeah.
So it's not a problem.
Yeah. Great.
We organise it on behalf of the Royal Highland Show, but it's not our event. So feel free.
Yeah. Great. And anyone else? Heather, you make lovely things, don't you?
Well, I'm a cook and a baker and a paper craft maker and knit. I think my only claim to fame really from the Royal Highland Show is that for many years I worked in the herdsman's tent filling roles.
Yeah.
Talking 35, 40 years ago. I kind of feel I've done my bit, but yes, I mean, I still enter baking bits and pieces. So, yeah.
Lovely.
And it's absolutely wonderful going in and seeing everything that's done. I mean, the floral art just blows my head away.
Yeah.
As do the crafts, of course. So, yes, it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. I'm going to come to Jennifer, because Jennifer, you've been to the show many times because you were head steward for a long time, weren't you?
Yes.
Oh, you're on mute, darling. I'll just ask you to unmute. Thanks, Heather. Okay, Jennifer.
Okay, I think yes, I did the Highland Show, working in the background for about 7 years, and it was two I think I did as chief steward. Yes.
And so you must enjoy it then.
Yes. I wasn't there last year. I had a year off last year.
Yeah.
But, yes, I just enjoy the camaraderie of it and what that goes on.
Yeah, it's great. And as Lou, what would you? Let's have a wee final chat. Thank you very much, Jennifer. Let's have a wee final chat, Lou, about just gee everyone up to say, come on, enter, don't be shy.
I think I've kind of proved it with the Fed show this year, where I've inspired. It's gone from being, because everybody entered the group one, so that was about 3 or 4 of us, but I got 11 of us together this year, and we wiped the floor of the whole place, and it was just amazing. And to see other people win trophies or to get their first, and not to be scared by the fact it's the Highland Show. It's just another craft competition, and you've got just as much chance as anyone else. And just to go, as I said, just to go up there and see, as I said, the 6th place to me is just as important as the first. And the more we enter and the more people that are inspired, the better the show is and the more, kudos it gets. And I just love it, and I will always be part of it.
Yeah. Brilliant. Well, we hope you are, because you're fabulous. So
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Lou, and thank you to all of you who've come along tonight. And we hope you apply for the competitions, and we're definitely SWI is working on promoting more crafts for people, and we've got the summer school coming up. I don't know if you've seen that, but just check our website. So we've got courses on the summer school. We've got new how-to videos coming at the start of next year. So there's lots of different things, lots of ways that we're helping to share member skills and skills of experts from outside out with our member experts. So there'll be lots of different things. So we're working hard to not just do heritage crafts, but also, as Mary said, modern crafts, current crafts, with a foot in the past and a foot in the future. So we're working hard on that. And one of our tutors for summer school is here, actually. I just remembered, Lorraine, you're one of the tutors at this year's summer school. Hi, Lorraine. I might ask you to unmute. So do you want to tell everyone what you're doing?
I'm going to be doing the sashiko, which is a Japanese embroidery, which I'm passionate about.
Yes, lovely.
Christine's excited.
Yeah. We're really looking forward to that. So we had expressions of interest, and we've got the people that made an expression of interest are the first people to get a chance to book the courses, and that goes on tomorrow. And then after that, it will be open to everybody. But I think your course may well be open and closed tomorrow, Lorraine.
Oh well, that means I better get on to design the that we're going to work on it.
Yeah, so it's been very popular. So
That's
but
good.
we've got all sorts of different things, and it's at Strathallan School, which is a lovely setting. So yeah, we'd love to. Maybe Lou, you could we could maybe invite you as a special guest to talk to people one of the evenings, and that would be nice, because I think as you say, it's so interesting to see that one person can do all sorts of different things, and all these things that you've learned have been partly because you're in the SWI and you just have a go and trying different things, and partly because you're craft mad. I see that.
I love the way you've supported people in the fact that, like with Tamari balls, not only have you facilitated people learning it, it's now a section in the show. So you've given them an outlet to actually, and again, this is the new sewing technique there, the Japanese technique. Maybe in a couple of years' time, that will be a section. And it's you're not just putting that craft out there and putting it in the schedule and telling people that's what you've got to come up with. You're facilitating the learning of it as well, which I think is brilliant.
And Lorraine actually demonstrated at RHS as well.
Yes, you did.
Very popular.
Yeah, so we're trying to promote things that are bringing people into the SWI, promoting the Handcraft Championships itself, and promoting just learning in general, and have a lifelong learning sort of all through the whole of your life, and you can try different things.
It's really good for you. It's good for your mental health. I mean, sitting making a willow basket for me is just purest, and I can just sit there for a couple of hours and just completely get lost in it. All my worries go, and it's really healthy for you.
Absolutely. And to do it for a few days at a summer school or whatever with a load of other like-minded women, and having a laugh in the evening and working all day, that's a nice thing too. So yeah,
definitely.
Great.
Can I just chime in just that after we finish this online event, there'll be a survey that'll go out to you from SurveyMonkey. It's just a link. It'll come straight from my email address. And if you do get a few minutes to please fill it out, because it gives us inspiration, it gives us ideas, and it shows us what the members want from us so that we can produce it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'd like you to thank Lou for me, everyone, and give a round of applause for our wonderful work and wonderful ambassadorship for SWI. Fabulous.
Keep going.
Yeah. and we'd love you all to enter. So so encourage your friends, encourage your fellow members to enter, because if we don't enter, and maybe it's a quiet year, then we can have a wee bit of an empty tent. So it's really nice to have a load of different things from a load of different people. Yeah.
definitely.
Great. Okay, thank you very much, everyone. Thank you, Charlotte. Thank you. Lou. Thank you, everyone who's helped
Thank you.
me tonight. Great.
Thank you.
Lou.
Good night.
Thank you, Lou.